What an honor to be here. Thank you guys, thank you guys. This is actually my 5th time speaking at CPAC. It's wonderful. And every time I hit the stage, it feels like there has been a lifetime of change that has transpired since the last time that I was here, and I suppose that that is very much the nature of politics today and of life. I have grown and I have changed in so many ways, and so many of you guys in this room have been with me on this journey. Some of you guys met me as an on-campus activist. Some of you guys supported me, know me as a published author. Definitely all of you know me as a public speaker, and I would imagine that a lot of you guys found me through my personal organization, Blexit, which you know aims to bring conservative principles to the minority community. And some of our more obtuse friends in media seem to know me as a black white supremacist. Not sure how they worked out that piece of brilliance. But today is the first time that I emerge on the CPAC stage within my most official and my most accomplished capacity. It's the first time I'm hitting the stage as a mother. Not just one at home, but also we've got one on the way, and thank you. And I can say that this time, as I stand on this stage, I have never been more certain about who I am and what my purpose is in this world. So on the topic of motherhood, I wanted to tell you guys something that I learned about 5 years ago, which really shocked me. Ready? So in the wild, far from the flowery depictions that you see of PETA, where the animals are loving each other and hugging all the time, and the only thing that happens bad in the wild happens because of awful human beings, in the wild, male bears actually kill their cubs. So the reason that hunters will seek out male bears and hunt them is because they're trying to preserve the bear population in certain areas. And let me explain that, because it's a weird thing to comprehend, that male bears are not only committing infanticide, but they're also committing cannibalism sometimes. They actually will eat their cubs. So the question is why? Well, similar to the human species, when female bears give birth and are nursing their cubs, they cannot go into heat. But, and this is what the papa bears have worked out, if a nursing mother loses her cubs, the lactation will stop and she will once again become receptive to breeding. So male bears kill their cubs for sex, really, is what it comes down to. Savage, to say the least. But there's something else that I'm getting at, and there is something that is amazing about this story that I learned, and it's that when the male bear does attack, the mama bear fights back with everything in her to protect her offspring, and most times that is a fight to the death. That is actually where the true concept of the mama bear, which we all use colloquially today, it comes from that concept of them fighting to the death for their cubs. And as a result, those of you who live near wildlife will know this. When you see a bear cub anywhere, no matter how cute and cuddly it looks, you do not go near it, right? Because you know somewhere nearby, mama bear is lurking and she will take no prisoners. Now, I share this with you because lately I've been left wondering what our human world might look like if we all drew inspiration from such a notion, a world where even seeing a child signaled a respectable threat and a retreat from would-be predators. To the school boards, to the pharmaceutical companies, to the politicians, and to the bureaucrats who accept money from them to violate our children mentally and sometimes even physically. To, without our express consent, masking them, injecting them, sexualizing them through the education system, to pursuing these ideas of hate or ideologies of hate. Today, our children are taught to judge one another on the very basis of their skin, with guiding educational principles like critical race theory. And so the question I have for you all today is, why are we allowed for this? Why have we allowed this? When did mothers and fathers agree to co-parent with the United States government? I firmly reject this arrangement, and I hope that you guys will as well. You see, in my mind, I believe that the state began assuming control over our households through a very successful campaign that began with radical feminism in the 1970s, which said to women, don't stay at home. Go be like a man. Go to work. Why would you want to stay in the kitchen? Don't make him a sandwich. These ideas that were quietly and subliminally planted into even my mind in the public school system. If you want to be successful, success is not marriage, success is not children, success is climbing the corporate ladder like men. That is the only way to achieve equality. What a wonderful opportunity that represented for the state. Because in mother's absence, the Department of Education began raising our children. And today, we are reeling from the aftermath of that custodial transfer. It has never been clearer, especially over these last 2 years in the era of COVID, just how much power we as parents have ceded to the government. And then there's that fashionable brainwash, which we see at home when you're watching the pollution of the mainstream media narrative that tells us that we ought to just trust the experts, right? Trust the experts. Don't even think about it, go to work, trust the experts. Here's what you need to know. You need to put a filthy cloth over the mouth of your innocent child. Trust the experts. On the second dose, the third dose, the fourth dose, the never-ending doses of vaccines, just trust the experts and don't ask questions because you're not smart enough to understand this. The ever-changing, minute-by-minute science, the Fauci science, the Bill Gates science. Trust the experts. And so in response to this, and perhaps on behalf of every mother and father in the world, allow me to clarify this point. My son is today 13 months old. I figured out his personality. No kidding, when he was in the womb, with every kick, how dramatic he was to let me know that he needed to eat now. I predicted quite accurately that he would be stubborn like his mom and very punctual like his father. When he entered the world, I sustained him from my body for a year. I mean, that just kind of, it's incredible to think about. Every ounce he gained was being produced from me. Today, I can read every octave of his cry, and mothers and fathers, you know what I'm talking about. There's the cry that means he's hungry. There's the cry that means he's angry. The cry that means he's tired. There's the cry where he just wants something that's within his grasp. Then you know that very distinct cry when he's actually hurt and you gotta race up the stairs. I can even hear his silence. I mean, that sounds crazy. I can hear his silence. It's the too quiet when they're up to no good, right? You're just like, what's he doing? What's he got his hands in? He's way too quiet right now. You see, when it comes to my son, I am the expert, okay? And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we dive into this panel, I want to remind you all in this room to be encouraged and to have the power to recognize that when it comes to our children, we are the experts. We make the decisions. And so we've got a great panel today, and please give a round of applause to welcome some of these real experts to talk about the most important battle that we as parents face today, the battle for our children against the state.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Virginia parent Stacey Langton. From North Carolina, Representative Ted Budd. From Illinois, Representative Mary Miller. From National Review,